And that leads us into the third pillar of why discipline, that there's freedom in discipline and dieting is never enough. And that is that fasting is a momentum builder.
Yeah.
Talk to me about momentum, Jen.
Oh gosh, who wouldn't want that? Especially when it comes to dieting and
No one.
and weight loss.
Everybody wants momentum.
Yeah.
Let me
Diet-
rephrase. Everybody wants positive
Yes.
momentum.
Yeah.
Because momentum can work against you.
And I think the diet industry kind of preys on this in a negative way with the 20 pounds in 20 days or whatever that might be, as you create this sort of vision in your mind of I'm going to get there so fast. But then with all getting, like you said, getting focused on the tactics and getting in the weeds, and then you don't meet that goal, you lose your momentum. So it actually works against you. But with fasting, at least being consistent with it. And I love what you said about it being flexible, because I don't fast as long on the weekends because I enjoy a late breakfast with my husband. I might throw a 24-hour fast in there once a week to just jumpstart things, especially after the holidays. But that's the beauty of it. And building momentum for myself is auditing, how is this really working for me? And where can I tweak the dials? But without that momentum, I probably would have given up on it a long time ago, to be honest with you.
Yeah, of course you would. That's what everybody does.
Yeah.
If you don't create positive momentum, you stop investing in that behavior.
Yeah.
But then every year, January 1st comes along, and the number one goal of all goal setters is weight loss across the board. Gym memberships are at all-time high. All fitness, weight loss related things. They're all over your social media feeds. They're all over your sporting event ads. This is when the weight loss industry makes the majority of their economics. Is the first quarter of the year preying on this is the year that it'll be different. The problem is they're well intended, but they go right into the tactics and they just don't work.
Yeah.
And
Long term. Anyway.
long term. And the reason people hate dieting is that it's slow. It's very dogmatic and difficult to pull off. It feels very sacrificial. I don't know anybody who diets is like, this is so fun. Like I'm
on a diet.
I love
It's torturous. I hate every minute of it.
fill in the blank diet. It just,
Yeah.
there's just something about sacrificing the entire journey to my goal. And it requires a sense of compromising and some exchange of value of this suffering that needs to take place. And fasting really, in many ways, divorces yourself from this sacrificial suffering, and it puts your focus on just having rules around framework, and then otherwise gives you total freedom once it's time to eat.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is it works.
Yeah.
It works. It works for so many reasons. I don't have any weight loss goals right now, but I live a fasted lifestyle because there are so many other benefits. Actually, I would even debate that weight loss is just a byproduct of fasting. It's like a side effect.
Yeah.
It's like you can use fasting for weight loss, but the reason you fast isn't a beginning and an end just with weight loss. Like it's one of the byproducts of a fasted lifestyle is much easier to maintain an optimal weight
Yeah.
and course correct based on life without any tactical, like weird feeling of not being enough or not being perfect. And I think as we were talking about this, I think one of the things that rarely gets talked about, but because we're practitioners in this and we see it all the time, built into the DNA of disciplined fasted lifestyle is both a short-term success that's easy, fast to implement, but it also has a defensive strategy built into it where it's sustainable. It's not like when you reach your weight loss goal, you stop fasting because there's so many other benefits. You just keep fasting. And that helps you maintain the thing that you achieved, which no other diet really does that because it's like, ooh, I'm done sacrificing. Now I can go right back into what I did to get into trouble in the first place.
Yeah.
With a lack of discipline.
And I love that concept of offense versus defense. It's one that I learned from you, and I'm grateful for that. But in the diet culture and the diet mindset, there's no defense
No one's
built
teaching
in
defense.
until the end.
And even then, how do you go from all offense to no longer playing offense to transitioning into a defensive mindset? It takes a whole different skill set, whole different psychology. This is why we have so many patients who have lost over 100 pounds multiple times in their life.
Yeah.
They're all world at tactic offensive strategy. Turns out it gets harder and harder to pull off that 100-pound weight loss. The older you get, the more your hormones are messed up, the more it hurts your body to move, the more you have sleep apnea. Like all of those things start to get harder and harder to pull off. You don't need a defensive strategy with fasting because it's baked into the discipline. So it makes it sustainable.